Today's lesson is about soloing with a purpose. In preparing for this lesson, it really made me think about an interaction I had with a very good colleague a long time ago, who was a very good friend of mine, still is, and we were also classical guitarists together at Montclair State University. So the guy's name is Dave Poli. He's very smart and very observant. And when, through our experience of watching and participating in classical guitar master classes and jazz master classes, he observed that classical is really all about the preparing what's on the score and giving the same presentation over and over and over again. And jazz is about the now. You're supposed to change it based on how you feel now. And I've always loved that idea, and I always wanted to put that into both my classical playing and my electric playing, especially in the rock and metal world, where playing what's on the CD basically is considered, what you're supposed to do. So it just keeps the art really fresh. So I got a different kind of backing track today, and I'm just really focused on playing what I feel now about it and making something cool, because that always feels like progress. So I think when I get that, then that meets the purpose, right? My purpose for soloing here isn't to practice, but it's to create. In the more beginner situations, it might just be more to practice, and that's okay. So it's always important to sort of know what experience you want to have, right? But what experience you want to have now, not eventually, but now. So I think if there's any takeaway from all of this, even just my experience in preparing for this lesson, it's that, the progress is in the present, right? It's something I've said a number of times. And yeah, it's like, have the experience you want to have now. This way you feel like you could then envision the next one. So. feel good there. I feel like I got some stuff out. And, I actually took a couple takes before this, and I feel like that one I was able to sort of let loose in the way that I like to and I was proud of overall. I mean, when you're just doing complete improvisation, it depends how often you prepare for this, and depends how often you actually just do it. Um, but the more you do it, the more you can adapt. So think about soloing with a purpose is really about, I always say it like this, but when it comes to performance, right? It's all about having a good time, right? So if we play accurately, then we're gonna have a good time. But in this case, it's just about playing. For me right now, like my criteria is about, was it exciting? Was it novel enough for me? Was it something that created um, I feel is a good addition to my portfolio, So in this case, yeah, I feel like there was some stuff in there, especially in G minor, which is a key I don't play in very often. That's the key of this, And, I used the 8th string, got to use some of the low notes a little bit, and that was, pretty fun. I've been playing 8th string for like over 10 years, so it's pretty comfortable, but I just don't play it all the time. Yeah, so I would say that the kind of takeaway, soloing with a purpose, decide what you want out of the experience and get it in the present now. That is the most important thing. That is how you feel that the solo was successful. When you hit your own criteria, then the solo was successful. So I hope this was insightful. I hope this was very helpful. Hope it gets you thinking about your own soloing, and as you're doing it, going, what's the point of running the licks I know if it makes me feel blank, So it's really all about how you feel now, right? Going back to Dave's observation, and I'll definitely tag him in here. So I hope he sees this at some point. Hope everybody's doing well. If you yourself would like to free yourself up and solo with a purpose yourself, and you would like my guidance with that, please feel free to send me a message. I'd love to help you out. Thank you very much. Have a great night.